Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. On the table in front of us are some goldbacks and a silverback. Silverbacks, as we all know, really not much in the way of practicality, but the goldbacks, however, 1/1000th of a troy ounce of gold combined with a polymer and made into these very beautiful, we'll call them notes. Is this the answer? Could this solve inflation and our current currency issues? Going back to a sort of fractional reserve gold standard where we can't have the gold standard anymore. There is too much money for everyone to go back to it, and only one country going back to it would make everything severely one-sided for everyone else, and then we would get into more than likely some other kind of resource-based conflict around gold and other precious metals of value. But it could be the answer, but some things would have to change. The denomination of these notes would have to change. These would have to be more like $10, quote unquote, a piece to even begin to think of really decoupling anything from inflation and making these usable in any kind of way that would alleviate the current problems that we're seeing. A lot of states, Utah, I believe Nevada, a few, maybe Wyoming now, have started making the goldbacks legal tender in their states, and you use an app on your phone to calculate, their current value or whatever, and then basically you can literally pay with these in some states and some establishments that are already hip to what's going on. But I don't think we're going to see a large-scale adoption. Could it work? I'm no economist, but I believe that anything would help. But I just don't think that it could be rolled out fast enough. I don't think everybody would be on board. And for sure, the federal government has their own ideas. So is this going to be the savior? No. I feel like it's a step in the right direction. It's just early in adoption, and I think it needs some work. But they are beautiful notes. They're much like remind me of like the Mexican currency. I mean, these are obviously a little more plastic feeling, but Mexican currency, if you don't know, is plastic or some kind of a polymer like that, because they are a little more rough on their money. It might get wet, it might get dirty, and they want it to hold up. Our currency, by comparison, is a little delicate. And as we know, if something happens to that bill and you don't have 51% of it, you're, SOL. So I really think we have something here, but unfortunately, I don't think it's going to get rolled out in any meaningful way to be able to help. But if it got bad enough and they made some changes, it could help the economy to some degree, but I feel like it would be few and far between a national resolution to inflation and our current currency devaluation problems that we're now seeing and going to continue to see for about the next year and a half or so. So is this our savior? Unfortunately, I have to say no. Tell me in the comments what you think of the goldbacks. I know everybody likes to collect them. They are really neat. I just really don't think that they are going to help us out of the sticky situation that we're in. They are very novel, and in some cases somewhat practical in terms of making purchases and doing some things, but I just don't feel like this is here at a point enough to make a lasting change economically for, our country. So tell me what you think in the comments about the goldbacks. and tell me your thoughts. Do you have an idea of something that could help remedy our current situation and what that is in the comments? I appreciate everyone's time and attention as always.